Limb bulking. Can you actually pack on muscle and size while keeping your body looking clean the whole way through? Or do you just have to accept getting fat to getting big? Because that's what I kept hearing. Eat everything. Go on dirty bulk. You can build without suffering through a fat phase first. I didn't buy it, to be honest. So I tested myself, and what I found changed the way I trained and I eat completely. When I started training, I was skinny kid, no muscle, no size, nothing to show for any of it. Just a skinny frame and a lot of motivation with nowhere to put it. And the standard advice, smash 5 or 6 massive meals a day. Eat whatever you can get your hands on. Just get the calories in however you can. Some guys were eating whole pizzas, entire packs of peanut butter, liter after liter of milk, just mass everything. That felt wrong to me. I didn't want to spend months looking and feeling like garbage just to bulk. What I actually wanted was simple. Build real muscle, put on actual size, and still look good the whole time. Not just at the end of a long cut, all the way through the process. So instead of following what everyone else was doing, I figured out a different approach, a cleaner system, one that let me build muscle without turning into someone I didn't recognize in the mirror halfway through. This video breaks it all down, 4 parts: the food, the training, the mindset, and some extra tips that made a bigger difference than I was expected actually. Part number 1, the food. So before you eat a single thing, you need a number, not an vibe, not an estimate, an actual number that you're going to build your full plan around. First, know your starting point. If you're currently sitting at above of 15% body fat, you need to do a mini cut to get you in that sweet 10 to 15% of body fat first, before starting adding some calories. Lean bulking works the best when you're already relatively lean. Now, if you're starting soft, you're putting fat on top of fat. That's just how it is. And then you spend twice as long cutting to it back. Once you're in that range, the next step is find your maintenance calories, the exact amount of food that your body needs to stay at his current weight day to day. You can get this from any TDE calculator. Use that as your base, and then add 250 to 400 calories above that maintenance. That's your surplus. That's it. That's where the muscle gets built without fat accumulating on top of it. For protein, this is the most important number for your diet. Hit 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every single day without exception. So if you weigh 160 pounds, that's roughly 160 grams of protein every single day. Sources that make it easy: chicken breast, eggs, whole milk, Greek yogurt, canned tuna. Rotate though, so they don't get boring. You can get everything else slightly wrong, but if your protein is not on point, you're just leaving the gains on the table, bro. For carbs and fats, don't overcomplicate it. Fill the rest of the diet with whole foods. Rice, potatoes for carbs, and avocado, olive oil for fats. The ratio matters less than the total calories and protein. Get those two right and the rest sorts itself out. For tracking weight, don't check it every single day. It messes with your head. 2 to 3 pounds swings naturally based on salt, water, the stress, and the sleep. Weigh yourself once a week. First thing in the morning, before you eat anything or drink anything. That's the number that counts. If 2 weeks pass and there is no signs of upward movement, add 100 to 200 calories. A tablespoon of peanut butter here, extra handful of oats there. Small tweaks, not a complete overhaul of your entire diet when the weight doesn't go as planned. Part number 2, the training. The calorie surplus means absolutely nothing if you training doesn't give a reason to go toward the muscle instead of fat. When the stimulus is strong, it has no choice but to adapt. So that means training with real intensity, not just going onto your training and going through the motions. Once you're comfortable with the movement, that's when your form is dialed in. That's when you start pushing yourself to near failure. Every set, every session, every rep. If you can always do 3 more reps at the end of your last set, that's a sign that you're not training hard enough. And while leaving the gains at the table, there is the lifts that should be anchoring your program. A horizontal pull, rows, cable rows, inverted rows. Those builds that back thickness. A squat variations, front squats, back squats, Bulgarian split squats, legs and core foundation. A hip hinge, deadlift or Romanian deadlifts or steroid chain. You know, most underrated muscle group. An incline or flat bench, those builds the chest and frontals that make you look bigger in a shirt. Curls and lateral raises, arms and shoulders that makes everything pop. These movements hit the most muscle mass, requires the most muscle growth and drives the most growth. Build every session around them and fill the rest in around them. For the training frequency, match the split to your schedule. 3 times available, full body, hit everything every session. 4 days upper lower, 2 upper days, 2 lower days, 5 days upper lower with a session for a weak point. For example, my weak point is my biceps, so I do my extra session for my arms. 6 days push-pull legs, twice through the week. Any of these work. The best one is the one that you can stick to for months, maybe even years. Consistency in training beats perfection every day, every single day. Cardio. A lot of people drop cardio entirely when they start bulking. That's a mistake. Keep 1 or 2 moderate sessions of cardio every week. Just make sure you're accounting for those extra calories so you stay in your surplus. Add them back from the food. Part number 3, the mindset. This is the part most people neglect, and this is also the reason why most lean bulks fail. Here's what happens to almost everyone. They start the plan with full commitment. Week number 1 goes well. Week number 2, scale barely moves. Week number 3, they read something online about a potentially better program. Week 4, they change their program and almost lose all their momentum. And 6 months later, they're back at square one, wondering why nothing works. The answer isn't a better program. It's the same one they had earlier. Lean bulking is slow by design. Let's say you're adding 300 calories on top of your maintenance. Not 1000 calories. The scale is going to move slowly. Your body is going to change subtly week to week in a ways that are sometimes hard to see in the mirror. That's not the plan failing, that's the plan working exactly as it should. The only thing that breaks the plan is you. Impatience, second guessing, constantly switching, these are going to kill your results. Trust the process for at least 8 to 12 weeks. Track your lifts every session. If your lifts are going up, you're building. It's that simple. Commit to the boring consistency that nobody wants to talk about, because that's where the actual results come in. A few things that don't fit nearly into a cut category but made a real difference. Sleep 8 hours. This isn't a suggestion. Muscle is built at rest, not at the gym. Less than 7 hours consistently, and that's when your testosterone tanks, recovery slows, and that's when you start craving junk. Protect your sleep the same way you protect your training. Progressive overload, more reps, more difficult variations, more sets. Something has to go up. The muscle only grows when it has to do more than the time before. If your numbers at the gym been the same, your body stopped growing. Force adaptations. Drink 3 liters of water. It sounds basic, because it is. Especially if using some like creatine or something similar, so you need more water so it doesn't have side effects. Proper hydration helps with everything, your hormones, and it just makes the things to work like it should. That's the whole system. Small surplus, high protein, intense and consistent training, the mental toughness to stay the course when the progress feels slow or invisible. There's no shortcut, there's no magic phase or secret protocol that bypasses the work, but there is a clear, proven path. And well, right now you have a full proven blueprint. Rewatch if you need to and run this for at least 12 weeks. If this helped at all, subscribe. More of these drops every single week. So I'll see you in the next one next week.